What if the secret to a life filled with purpose, resilience, and happiness wasn't found in some grand, unattainable goal, but in the first few hours of your day? If you've ever felt like your mornings are a frantic rush, a source of stress, rather than a sanctuary of peace, this video is for you. We're about to explore 10 powerful Stoic strategies designed to transform your morning routine. We'll show you how to turn those early hours from something you dread into a powerful launchpad for a day filled with intention and joy, all inspired by the timeless wisdom of ancient philosophers. First, let's talk about finding your ikigai. Have you ever woken up and wondered, what's the point of all this? You go through the motions, work, chores, responsibilities, but a sense of deep underlying purpose feels missing. This isn't just a modern feeling. It's a timeless human question. The ancient Stoics, like the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, wrestled with this very idea. He believed that our primary duty was to live in accordance with our nature, to fulfill our unique role in the world with integrity and passion. This is where a powerful concept from Japan, known as ikigai, comes into play. Ikigai is your reason for being. It's not just a job or a hobby. It's the beautiful intersection of 4 fundamental elements: what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. Finding your ikigai is like discovering your personal mission statement for life. It's the answer to that nagging question: what's the point? The journey to discovering your ikigai begins not by looking outward, but by turning inward. It starts with a series of profound, introspective questions you must ask yourself. What activities make you lose track of time? What are the skills you've honed, both professionally and personally? What problems in the world stir a desire in you to contribute to a solution? And finally, how can you weave these threads together into something that can sustain you? This isn't a one-time exercise, but a continuous exploration. Your ikigai can evolve as you grow and change. The true magic happens when you start aligning your daily actions with this deeper purpose. When your morning begins with a clear understanding of your why, every task, no matter how small, becomes a step on a meaningful path. Waking up is no longer a chore, but an opportunity to contribute to your life's work. By anchoring your mornings in your ikigai, you're not just starting your day. You're building a life rich in meaning, deep satisfaction, and genuine happiness. Next, let's discuss preparing for your mornings the night before. How often have you hit the snooze button, only to wake up feeling groggy, disorganized, and already behind? The chaos of your morning might feel like an unavoidable part of modern life. But what if the root of the problem isn't the morning itself, but the evening that preceded it? The Stoics taught that our actions should be purposeful and guided by an inner compass. This philosophy doesn't just apply to grand gestures. It applies to the quiet moments that bookend our days. The quality of your morning is forged in the fires of the night before. To have a powerful, intentional start to your day, you must treat your evening routine with the same respect and intention. Think of it as preparing the soil before planting a seed. The first, and perhaps most crucial, step is to disconnect from the digital world. The endless scroll, the late-night news, the constant barrage of notifications, these things keep your mind in a state of high alert. It's recommended to put away all screens at least an hour before you plan to sleep. This simple act cues your mind that it's time to wind down, allowing your brain to shift from a state of stimulation to one of rest. The second part of this preparation is planning. Instead of waking up to a fog of uncertainty, give your future self the gift of clarity. Before you go to bed, take just 5 minutes to jot down your top 3 priorities for the next day. These aren't just tasks. They are your primary objectives, the things that will move the needle forward. This simple practice accomplishes 2 things. It offloads the mental burden of trying to remember everything, and it provides a clear direction and a sense of purpose the moment you wake up. You're no longer reacting to the day. You're directing it. Have you ever woken up grabbed your phone, and immediately felt a wave of anxiety wash over you? A single email, a news alert, or a social media post can hijack your morning, leaving you feeling reactive and overwhelmed before your feet even hit the floor. Imagine a different start. Imagine a morning where you are the one in control, where you set the tone, not your notifications. There was once a Roman emperor, arguably the most powerful man in the world, who faced immense pressure, daily wars, plagues, and political betrayals. Yet he began each day not by reacting to the world's demands, but by turning inward, preparing his mind for the challenges ahead. This practice wasn't a luxury. It was a necessity for his survival and effective leadership. The point is, how you spend the first hour of your day determines the quality of the next 23. By consciously choosing your first actions, you build a fortress of tranquility that the chaos of the world cannot easily penetrate. But how do you build this fortress? And what is the single most important habit that holds it all together? The first, and perhaps most crucial, step in crafting a Stoic morning is to avoid distractions immediately after waking up. Think of your mind in the morning as a calm, clear lake. The moment you check your phone, you are throwing a stone into that water, sending ripples of digital clamor across its surface. This instantly shifts you from a proactive, intentional state to a reactive one, where your agenda is set by others, your boss's urgent email, a friend's social media update, or a breaking news headline. You are no longer the captain of your own ship. You are being tossed about by the waves of external demands. The quality of your attention, as Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, determines the quality of your life. By giving your attention away so freely in those first precious moments, you are inadvertently diminishing the quality of your entire day. Instead of surrendering to this digital chaos, dedicate the first hour of your day to activities that nourish your soul and sharpen your mind. This is your sacred time. You could use it to read a few pages from a book that inspires you, meditate to center your thoughts, or journal to clarify your intentions for the day. Even the simple act of sitting quietly with a cup of coffee, watching the world wake up, can be a profound act of self-possession. By doing this, you are not just delaying the inevitable rush of the day. You are actively creating a reservoir of peace and focus. You are prioritizing what truly matters to you before the world begins to tell you what should matter. This intentional space allows you to approach the day as challenges with a clear head and a steady hand, rather than from a state of frazzled reactivity. It's a declaration that your inner peace is more important than any notification. Building on this foundation of a distraction-free start, the next principle is to wake up consistently. This practice may sound simple, but it is a profound embodiment of the Stoic philosophy of understanding what is within your control and acting with virtue. While you cannot control the weather, the economy, or the actions of others, you absolutely can control the time you rise. Waking up at the same time every day, including weekends, is a powerful declaration of your control over your own life. It becomes a cornerstone habit, a stable foundation upon which all other positive routines can be built. This consistency stabilizes your body's internal clock or circadian rhythm, leading to more restorative sleep and higher energy levels throughout the day. It's the first promise you keep to yourself each day, a small victory that creates momentum for bigger ones. Of course, maintaining this consistency can be challenging. The allure of the snooze button and the comfort of a warm bed are powerful forces, especially on a cold, dark morning. This is where the Stoic practice of perseverance becomes essential. It requires you to focus on the long-term benefits of discipline over the immediate comfort of a few extra minutes of broken sleep. To support this habit, your preparation must begin the night before. Set a clear intention for your morning, reminding yourself why you are choosing to wake up at a specific time. Create an environment that supports your goal. Go to bed earlier to assure you are well rested. Place your alarm clock across the room so you have to physically get up, or use a sunrise simulating alarm clock that uses natural light to gently wake you. By consciously designing your environment and mindset, you are exercising your power to choose virtue and discipline over momentary gratification, strengthening your resolve with each passing day. Finally, while Stoicism champions discipline and self-control, it equally emphasizes the importance of taking it easy on yourself. The path of self-improvement is not a straight line. It is filled with stumbles and setbacks. Acknowledging our inherent human tendency to prefer instant gratification over long-term discipline is a key part of the process. You will have mornings where you hit the snooze button. You will have days where you reach for your phone out of habit. The goal is not perfection, but progress. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, constantly reminded himself in his private writings to be patient and forgiving with his own shortcomings. He understood that true growth comes not from flawless execution, but from recognizing our errors, learning from them, and then gently letting them go without harsh self-judgment. When these slip-ups occur, the Stoic response is not to berate yourself or abandon your goals in frustration. Instead, it is to practice self-compassion. Forgive yourself for the lapse and see the next morning as a fresh opportunity to try again. Each sunrise offers a clean slate. This ability to forgive yourself and recommit is not a sign of weakness. It is an indicator of profound strength and wisdom. It signifies that you are committed to this journey for the long haul, understanding that resilience is built through a cycle of effort, failure, and renewed effort. Self-compassion is the fuel that keeps you moving forward on the difficult but rewarding path of becoming the person you aspire to be. True strength lies in the ability to get back up, not in never falling down. Have you ever felt like your day got away from you before it even began? That by the time you've had your first coffee, you're already behind, reacting to a world that seems to be setting the pace for you? It's a common feeling, a subtle loss of control that can set the tone for the entire day. Now, imagine a different start. A start with the very first action you take is a deliberate choice, a small victory that sets a precedent for all the victories to come. It's not about grand gestures or life-altering decisions made before sunrise. It's about something much smaller, much more achievable, and yet profoundly powerful. This is the essence of practicing discipline in the little things. It's the conscious decision to place your alarm clock across the room the night before. This isn't just a trick to force yourself out of bed. It's a commitment. It is a promise you make to your future self that you will begin the day on your terms, not at the mercy of the snooze button. When that alarm rings and you physically get up to silence it, you have already won your first battle. You have honored a commitment, and in that simple act, you have affirmed your own agency. Think about the act of making your bed. It seems trivial, perhaps even a waste of a precious minute or two. But the Stoics would see it differently. They would see it as an exercise in care and order. As you pull the sheets tight and arrange the pillows, you are not just tidying a physical space. You are creating an external reflection of the internal order you wish to cultivate. It's a quiet declaration that you value intention, that you respect your environment, and that you are starting your day with a completed task. This small act of discipline becomes the first domino to fall in a long line of intentional choices. These small victories are the foundational bricks of a disciplined life. Each one choosing to stretch for 5 minutes instead of scrolling through your phone, drinking a glass of water before reaching for caffeine, taking a moment of quiet reflection before the chaos begins, is a choice. And it is the accumulation of these choices that molds our character. It's not the one-time heroic effort that defines us, but the consistent, daily practice of doing the small things well. Committing to these minor acts of discipline is like training a muscle. It strengthens your resolve, making it easier to uphold commitments in more significant areas of your life. When you prove to yourself that you can follow through on the little promises, you build the self-trust required to tackle life's bigger challenges. You are preparing yourself, one small, disciplined act at a time, for whatever the day may hold. Now, Consider this journey of self-improvement. It can often feel like a solitary path, a silent battle waged within our own minds. But what if it didn't have to be? What if the secret to staying on track, to turning these fleeting intentions into lasting habits, wasn't just about willpower, but about connection? There was a writer who had a goal, to finish his novel. For months, he'd been stuck. He'd start his mornings with great ambition, but by noon, he'd find himself distracted, the blank page mocking him. The weight of his own expectations was crushing. He felt isolated in his struggle, convinced he was the only one who lacked the necessary discipline. One day, over a casual coffee with a friend, an artist who was also struggling with her own creative blocks, they made a pact. They would become accountability partners. They agreed to a simple daily check-in, a quick text message each morning stating their goal for the day, and another in the evening reporting on their progress. At first, it felt a little strange, but soon the dynamic shifted. The morning text wasn't a chore. It was a declaration of intent. Knowing his friend was expecting an update, the writer found it harder to procrastinate. On days when his motivation waned, a simple message from her asking, "How's the chapter going?" was enough to reignite his focus. When he finished a particularly difficult chapter, her celebratory reply felt more rewarding than any internal pat on the back. They weren't just holding each other to a standard. They were supporting each other, offering new perspectives when one of them was stuck, and celebrating the small wins along the way. The writer finished his novel in 6 months. The accountability wasn't a magic pill, but it was the crucial catalyst that transformed his solitary struggle into a shared journey. This is the power of finding an accountability partner. Sharing your goals with someone who will support you and hold you to your commitments dramatically increases your likelihood of success. This isn't about finding a drill sergeant to berate you for your failures. It's about finding an ally, a fellow traveler who reminds you of the commitments you made to yourself, who encourage you when you stumble, and who genuinely celebrates your victories. This practice deeply resonates with Stoic philosophy. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus constantly emphasized the importance of community and virtuous relationships. They understood that we do not develop character in a vacuum. We are social beings, and our growth is intertwined with the support and honest feedback of others. Your accountability partner can be a powerful mirror, reflecting your own potential back at you. They can offer insights you might have missed and challenge the limiting stories you tell yourself. The relationship fosters a unique blend of mutual support, honesty, and vulnerability. It creates a safe space where you can admit you're struggling without fear of judgment, and in turn, offer that same support to someone else. It transforms the daunting task of self-discipline from a private burden into a shared and noble pursuit of virtue. It's a reminder that while the journey is your own, you don't have to walk it alone. So we've talked about building discipline through small actions and leveraging the power of another person to keep us on track. But there is one final, more profound practice that can anchor all of these efforts and give them ultimate meaning. It's a practice that doesn't require any external tools or partners, only a shift in perspective. It's a thought experiment that has the power to cut through all the noise, all the trivialities, and all the distractions that pull us away from what truly matters. Imagine an ancient Roman emperor, the most powerful man in the known world. He has everything he could ever desire: wealth, influence, legions at his command. Yet in his private journals, he isn't writing about conquests or riches. He's writing about the shortness of life. He writes, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This was Marcus Aurelius, and this practice of contemplating his own mortality wasn't a morbid obsession. It was his most powerful tool for living a life of purpose. He understood that reflecting on the fleeting nature of our existence is not a cause for despair, but a profound call to action. This is the practice of memento mori. Remember death. It's a stark reminder that our time is finite. This isn't meant to frighten you into a state of panic, but to awaken you to the preciousness of the present. When you truly internalize that this day, this hour, this very breath is a gift that is not guaranteed, it fundamentally transforms your approach to life. It encourages you to strip away the non-essential and concentrate on what will leave a meaningful legacy. The petty grievances, the pointless anxieties, the procrastinated dreams, they all lose their power in the face of this ultimate truth. Remembering death fosters a powerful sense of perspective and resilience. When you face an inevitable challenge or a frustrating setback during your day, the thought of your own mortality can act as a clarifying filter. Is this situation truly worth the anger, stress, or despair I'm feeling? In the grand scheme of a finite life, most of our daily struggles reveal themselves to be insignificant. This perspective doesn't eliminate hardship, but it prevents hardship from eliminating our peace. It cultivates a deep sense of gratitude for the simple fact of being here now. The morning sun on your face, the taste of your coffee, the ability to think and act, these become miracles, not mundanities. To incorporate this into your morning routine, you don't need a skull on your desk, though some Stoics did just that. You simply need to ask yourself one powerful question. If this were my last day on earth, would I be proud of how I am choosing to spend it? This question isn't a demand for perfection. It's a call to intention. It prompts you to align your actions with your deepest values. It pushes you to be a little kinder, a little more courageous, a little more present. It's the ultimate Stoic hack for a life well lived, starting with a morning well spent. But how do we tie all of these practices together, from the smallest habit to the most profound contemplation? And what is the one final element that acts as the glue, turning a collection of good habits into a truly unbreakable morning ritual? Now, this might sound grim, like intentionally starting your day on the wrong foot, but it's the exact opposite. Have you ever started your day feeling like you're already on a runaway train, bracing for impact? What if I told you there's a way to not just brace for it, but to build a mind so strong that the bumps on the track barely even register? Let's talk about the 9th practice in our Stoic morning routine. Practice negative visualization. Now, this might sound grim, like intentionally starting your day on the wrong foot, but it's the exact opposite. This isn't about pessimism. It's a powerful Stoic tool for building profound resilience. I remember a time a few years back when I had a huge, career-defining presentation scheduled. The night before, I couldn't sleep, my mind racing with everything that could go wrong. My projector failing, my notes getting lost, my voice cracking under pressure. Instead of pushing those thoughts away, I decided to lean into them. I sat quietly and visualized each scenario. I pictured the projector bulb dying and calmly thought, okay, I know this material by heart. I can deliver it without slides. I imagined spilling coffee on my shirt and thought, I'll make a quick joke about it and move on. By the time I finished, a strange sense of calm had washed over me. I had already faced the worst in my mind and realized I could handle it. The next morning, I walked into that meeting not with anxiety, but with a quiet confidence. And while nothing major went wrong, that mental rehearsal had armed me with an unshakable sense of preparedness. That's the core of negative visualization. It's about mentally rehearsing how you would cope with potential challenges, from something as small as a missed bus to more significant losses. The Stoics understood that everything we have is, in a sense, on loan from fortune. By contemplating the temporary nature of things, our jobs, our possessions, even our relationships, we don't become morbid. Instead, we strengthen our resilience muscles. We prepare our minds for adversity so that when it inevitably strikes, we aren't shattered. We are ready. Paradoxically, this practice also floods our present with gratitude. When you briefly imagine life without the comfort of your home or the presence of a loved one, you return to the present moment with a heightened appreciation for everything you have right now. It reminds you just how much there is to be thankful for. This brings us directly to our 10th and final practice. Appreciate your life. While negative visualization prepares you for what could be lost, gratitude anchors you in the abundance of what you currently possess. This isn't just a fleeting thank you to the universe. It's a deliberate and transformative morning habit. Many people practice gratitude at the end of the day, which is wonderful for a peaceful night's sleep. But integrating it into your morning primes your entire day for positivity and purpose. It sets the tone from the moment you wake up. Before you even check your phone or get lost in your to-do list, take a moment. You could keep a small gratitude journal by your bed, or simply think of 3 specific things you appreciate. It doesn't have to be monumental. It could be the warmth of your blankets, the sound of birds outside your window, or the simple fact that you have a new day ahead of you. This practice is pure Stoicism in action. It aligns perfectly with the teaching to focus on what is within our control and to find joy in what we have, rather than despair over what we lack. I started doing this a while ago, and the shift was remarkable. Instead of waking up with a mind full of obligations and anxieties, I started waking up with a sense of quiet anticipation. I would jot down things like grateful for the taste of my morning coffee, or grateful for a kind text from a friend yesterday. This simple act rewired my brain. It shifted my focus from scarcity to abundance, from problems to possibilities. It's a powerful way to remind yourself that even on difficult days, there is always good to be found. It fills your morning with peace and sets a foundation of contentment that you can carry with you throughout the day. So, there you have it, 2 final powerful practices to complete your Stoic morning routine. Build your resilience by preparing for hardship, and anchor your spirit by appreciating the good that already surrounds you. If these ideas resonated with you, show some love by hitting that like button. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it, and let me know in the comments which of these practices you're most excited to try. And of course, if you want more content to help you build a stronger, more tranquil mind, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.